West Ham to Arsenal 2. From a two-goal lead in the first 10 minutes, Arsenal bottled it to West Ham. I'm not going to be overly hysterical, overly reactionary about this unsavory result. But if you look at my preview, I called it, I've been calling it throughout this week. Put Saka on the bench. He has been poor for the past 4 to 5 games, but we keep playing him. I will understand if you had no other option on the bench. There's Trossard, there's Nelson. I know some of you might not trust Nelson. What about Trossard? What about Trossard? Look, what about Trossard? Okay, let's start from the fact that we saw how West Ham were going to play. In the first 2 to 3 minutes, we saw Declan Rice trying to mark and press Partey. Partey got away with the first few times. We knew that was their pattern. Make sure they press Partey. Make sure they press the player that received the ball from the goalkeeper. We did not learn from that. I'm not blaming the goal solely on Partey. What about Gabriel Magalhaes sliding in? What about sliding in? From a two-goal lead, 7th minute. Let's look at when we scored, right? Gabriel, give me a minute. Let me share my screen. I need to share my screen. Let me share my screen. So let's look at it right now. Gabriel scores at the 7th minute. Fantastic goal by the post. He was just locking there. Ball comes to him from a cross. I think from Ben White from the other side. And he has an open goal tapping. Fantastic goal. Then Martin Odegaard gets an assist, fantastic assist from Martinelli to make it 2 goals. And we're cruising. And I was like, maybe we could score a few goals to actually up our goal difference and trying to catch up with Manchester City. I didn't know we're up for an unpleasant surprise. You look at it there, 33rd minute, we concede a sloppy penalty. I get it why Gabriel Magalhaes will slide to try and get to the ball. But Partey, I understand it's high risk, high reward. Like, you should have not passed the ball sideways instead of trying to get a better of Declan Rice, who is a very aggressive presser of the ball. I can see why Arteta wants him. Even Declan Rice, he played on Thursday, and you saw the energy he showed in this match against Arsenal. Arsenal were a bit pedestrian and lethargic. For the second game in a row, we take a 2-goal lead and we implode. We capitulate. What is going on? Arteta, what is going on? What is going on? Are we getting Lillivard at the business part of the season? This happened last season. I thought it was just due to players' injuries. This is happening again. What is going on? Partey was not at his best today. Saka has been struggling. Odegaard came to the game after it was a 2-2. He decided to put in more energy. I don't get it. Odegaard flourishes when you are thriving, is flourishing. But when we get a bit of a sticking, he hides a little bit. I'm not saying he's hiding. You don't see him on the ball trying to control the game. We know physically Odegaard is not a beast. But you can control the game by holding on to the ball and passing the ball and finding diagonals. You can control the game by that. Why are we not trying to control games like that? Why is that we're always hiding when the pressure is when the other team is trying to be physical against us? Why do we hide? I thought we gotten ahead of this physical softness, but as if it's creeping back into the team. Why are we hiding? Why did Arsenal hide from 2 goals, 2-goal lead against Liverpool? A lot of were attributing to the Anfield crowd, right? We're saying the team got overwhelmed. Xhaka woke up the Anfield crowd. So what happened this time that woke up West Ham players or the West Ham crowd? What is going on here? What is going on with Arsenal? Is it that they can't handle the pressure? Because I would love to know why we can't handle this pressure. And why are we carrying a player who has become a passenger in the last few weeks, Saka? Saka has become a very pathetic passenger. It's getting very annoying. Drop him. I'm not saying do not play him again. Just drop him. He's the same player who claimed to want to give everything to the club. He's not playing well. He has not even signed his contract. What is going on? West Ham played midweek. I know they rested a few players, But come on, man. We had a whole week of rest. And this is how we play. We were lucky not to lose this match. Very, very lucky. Some of you will keep on telling me. I remember I was on Tom's channel the other time. People were saying I'm kind of scapegoat holding. Even though holding is not obviously making mistakes, but it affects the way we play. Saliba is more comfortable playing out of the back. Saliba is more comfortable finding the right angles of passing. Saliba is more comfortable being aggressive and having recovery pace. Helps us to play higher up the pitch. Saliba helps us do all these things. Holding cannot. Our pressing was not, if you notice, against Liverpool and against West Ham, for the first 30 minutes, we look good. Thereafter, then we fall back. What is going on? What is going on? Are the player becoming leggy? I said it the other time, put Ben White in the center half and play Nelson as a right back or Waters. Everybody said, no, that would not work. Is this working? Is it coincidental or causation that in the last two games, away with holding, we've had 2 draws? Some of you say he hasn't made obvious mistakes. Let's not forget, he considered the penalty against Liverpool. We're just lucky that Salah did not convert a penalty. Today, he was in the first half, he was close to giving West Ham another penalty. Like, we need to understand that the way Arsenal play, we need a certain type of players to execute. Players who are very quick, players that are technical, and players who are good in tight spaces with the ball. Some of you argue, what about Odegaard? Why was he hiding? Odegaard, for me, when the game becomes a physical game, even though he can be physical, he tends to be bullied. There's no alternative word I can use to that. He tends to seem being bullied. Then, when it gets to like the 80th to 90th minute, you see him trying to hurry the troops. No, why can't you do that in the 40th minute, in the 50th minute, in the 60th minute? Why can't you do that? Why can't you do that? What has gone wrong with this team? I know we are missing Saliba. I know we are missing Tomiyasu. But with this team, we should be able to go to West Ham and win, especially when we took the lead. We had a 2-goal lead and we bottle it like this. And we bottle it. It's advantage Man City. Advantage Man City on paper. Now, Man City have to still play those games and win them. But the momentum is with Man City. I would love to hear how Arteta explains himself out of this. Because you can't, I don't see how he can explain himself out of this nonsense. And the players, talk is cheap. Everybody can say whatever they want. When it comes to the pitch, they are not delivering. The Arsenal players are not delivering. And it's becoming pathetic. Very, very pathetic that the Arsenal players aren't delivering. They're not delivering at all. Against West Ham, a team that played on Thursday. Yet, we played our last game on last was it last Sunday or Saturday? I've forgotten. At least we had at least 5 days rest. And this is a performance we put out. I would not be surprised if Arteta sticks to Saka next week. I will not be shocked. Saka is a star boy. And some of you who cannot separate sentiment from objectivity. I don't say don't play Saka anymore. I'm just saying he has been struggling for the last 5 games. Put him on the bench. Start with Trossard. And if you look at it, Trossard doesn't do too well. I'm not saying he doesn't do well. Doesn't do too well coming off the bench. He likes to play into the rhythm of the game from the start. Play Trossard. I think the result might have been different, in my opinion. So with Trossard, he might not have the pace, but he's good with tight spaces. He can hold off the ball. He's good with his passing. Why didn't you play? Saka has been poor in marking, who has been poor in beating his man in the last few games, or his general play, and he even missed a penalty. If we made a 3-1, the game will have been ended. But no, Saka misses a penalty. It makes it difficult for us. I don't see how. Let me rephrase. It's not impossible for us to still win the league. It's not impossible. But it's going to be a tall order. So, Arsenal fans, brace yourself up. If we do not win the league, it's going to be a long summer for a lot of us. It's going to be a long summer. And you have to accept the term that are going to be used by drivers that we bottled it. And it's true, we bottled it. We should not be losing 2-0 leads twice in 2 weeks against Liverpool and against West Ham. That is not good enough. That is not good. And in those two games, Saka has been a passenger. Let's call it what it is. Saka has been a passenger, but most of you will not call him because it's your star. But he lays back to the argument, the dumb argument most Arsenal fans are making that he is not world class. I'm not saying because we lost this game. Go check my past video, look at my catalog of videos and check. I've never said he's not world class. He's a top player who can be world class, but he's not. World class players don't go through this kind of slump. They might not be scoring, but they still contribute to the game. He's not scoring, he's not contributing. It's peace. Poor. Call it what it is. He's Saka. I love him. He's a star boy. But let's call it what it is. Saka has been poor. There's no way you want to dice it or slice it or color the words or make it look like changing nomenclature. No, Saka has been piss poor for the last 5 games. Like I said previously, I will not be shocked against Southampton. Arteta starts him again. 2 draws from 2 away matches. Not good enough. In a title challenging season. Not good enough. Not good enough. Like, I'm not giving up all hopes, but I'm not that optimistic anymore that we're going to win this league. I'm not optimistic. Because not only because of some of our players are becoming very weak, it's the fact that Arteta is not just bold enough. His naivety that he showed last season is still being shown this season again. Why can't you drop players, especially if you have other options on the bench? Why can't you switch it up? I used to see Alex Ferguson play Park, who was a right winger, as a right back in certain games. In certain games, mix it up. But no, he has 11 lieutenants that if you take one out, the team balance, the team cohesion is off. It's off. He leaves players too cold out of the team that once he brings them, they can't perform to the level they play, the starting level can get to. They can't. They can't. I'm not going to be overly critical about these players, but let's be real. It's a tall order for us to win this league. It's going to be a very tall order. I am not optimistic, but at the same time, I'm not giving up hope. Like I said, points on board, trumps anytime games to be played. Man City looks like they should be the favorite right now on paper. Like they have the experience, they have the manager, they have the squad. If they win it, it's our loss. We bottled it. Especially, I see last week, even though I saw it a bit differently, a lot of people were saying we lost that game due to the Anfield crowd. We didn't lose that game due to the Anfield crowd. We lost that game just the way we lost. So we drew that game rather. Let me scratch that. Let me rephrase. We drew that game against Liverpool the way we drew against West Ham. We couldn't win the physical battles. We couldn't. We see when other teams have seen that when you become overly physical with Arsenal, they hide. They become passive. No, you should be able to match them physicality for physicality. We had Partey on the pitch. We had Xhaka on the pitch. Why couldn't you match? Okay, let's say you cannot match them physicality for physicality. You can match them by using the ball, diagonal passes, moving the ball quicker. But so we're just being pedestrian, especially when we're 2 goals up, we're being passive, we're holding on to the ball too much. Too much. We allowed West Ham back into the game. On paper, we have a better team than West Ham. And the fact it keeps on getting my the fact that we are 2-goal lead up. 2 goals. We're up by 2 goals against West Ham. 2 goals up against West Ham. This is not Man City. 2 goals up. And we capitulated like a pack of cards. Let's see how we bounce back against Southampton on Friday. Because I would love to watch Arteta's post-match press conference. I would like to know what's going to tell us. because Arteta is showing his naivety 2 consecutive seasons. He's showing naivety. So a few injuries derails us automatically. So we don't have Saliba, we're done. But we have Partey, Odegaard, and Xhaka. When West Ham were playing the press, why did you move Xhaka back and stop and tell him, do not move too forward, partner with Partey, and make sure you move the ball and pass the ball quicker to Martinelli and Saka to pull West Ham backwards. No, we're not moving we're not passing the ball quickly. We're holding on to the ball too much, allowing West Ham to press us aggressively, easily. See, I think I've ranted enough. Let me go and get something else to do, and let me go and see if I can watch the post-match press conference against West Ham, and I'll do a reaction to that because even though I'm trying to put it together, I'm very, very livid. I'm very, very angry, but it is what it is. If you're watching this on a playback, do me a favor. Make sure you stick a like on the video. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you turn the notification bell, and don't give up hope. It's still possible that we win the league, even though the probability is getting thinner and leaner. But let's see what Arsenal can pull out, because I am not too optimistic, but I'm not giving up yet. Like, share, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one.